Welcome back to the Figma Bootcamp. I'm AOA, and so far in our series, we've learned how to create beautiful, consistent, and flexible design using auto layout, reusable elements using components, and today we'll bring these two things together with interactive prototyping. You can think of prototyping as animating your static designs into clickable and interactive experiences that will simulate real user experience. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to create realistic prototype that demonstrate user flow, transitions, and interactions, which is perfect for user testing and stakeholders presentations as well. As always, before we jump into technical things, let's understand why prototyping is an essential part of the design process. Static designs can show how the interface look, but they can't really demonstrate how it feels to use. Prototype will bridge that gap by adding motion, interactions, and flows to your design. So this is a very static presentation for PowerPoint. However, if we wanted to create a prototype, we could simply go into the prototype tab, which is on the top right of Figma. And then once a prototype has been created, click on that play button here. That will launch the prototype interface. And from there, you can see that I can potentially click a button and see transitions of how things are supposed to change. This is a very rudimentary prototype, but it still showcases how more realistic it is to understand and share your vision with the stakeholders and the users of, oh yeah, the content is going to slide across the screen when switching from slide A to slide B. When you are in the prototype interface, using R will reset the prototype. So if you clicked somewhere by mistake and you want to go back, but you don't have a back button, R will just reset the prototype. From anywhere in Figma, you can click on the play button at the top to start the prototype on the prototype page. If you have created a screen that is a bit bigger than your current screen, you can type the Z key to zoom in for fitting the height of the content. And if you have started from a frame, like an iPhone frame, you would have the iPhone border showcased. This works the same way. Bring back here. So let's go over how to create interactions with a very simple example. Let's start with two frames that contains an element. And we want to make sure that on click of this element, it changes to be a circle. We go into the prototype tab. When you hover any shape, you will see plus on the edges. And then on click and drag, you will have arrows to define where you want to go. Upon release, a new model is going to pop in, showing you what you want to have. The triggers are going to be some of the options: on click, on drag, while hovering, while pressing. If you have a keypad or a gamepad, you can use that. Mouse enter, mouse leave, mouse down, which is like while the mouse is clicked, and mouse up when you release the button. The delay is an automation. But now we want to navigate to that screen, which is called O1, with a different transition of Smart Animate, for example, and a curve for the transition of Ease in and out. Duration is 1200 for now, so that I can show you how it looks. If you don't really know how it will look, if you hover on the illustration, it will give you the transition length and effect. In order for us to have something that works, we're going to create another transition from here to here. This time, we'll use on click, Smart Animate as well, but we'll make that 210. That's a bit faster. Let's start this prototype. So from here, if I click, it rotates and turned into a circle. This is because my element has a rotation. In order for us to have a nice transition, we need the elements to have the exact same name. If this element wasn't name shaped, but shape 1, the prototype wouldn't really understand what's happening, and therefore will simply do a fade transition in between the two states, which is not good. But remember, every time you want nice transitions, ensure that you have same names for all of your layers. In most real applications, we involve navigation, which means going through multiple screens. This will use the same principle of defining where to click and where to go. So you will use this menu all the time to ensure that you know what is the destination, what is the transition, what is the action, what will happen. Remember that if you wanted to, you could define that either instead of creating a return, it might be a hover state. So let's create an element outside. It will be a bit smaller and say that this is a frame called overlay, and then have this arrow point to this as not a navigate to, but open overlay. Open overlay give you a lot of different transitions options, and you want it to be centered. You want it to have background and an animation that would be a move in from the bottom of the screen. You also want to be or have the ability to make it clickable outside to close it. And then for the sake of the exercise, I want to go back to initial states on click. So now with this transition, we have created a first rotation and transformation, a click to showcase a model, and then on click on the grayed out background, it will just reset. If I click on the overlay itself, just move it to the next screen. As you can see, it took the same transition back. This is because Figma keeps in memory the last transition defined in order to make transition more natural. Here we might want dissolve and not a move in. Starting it again, on click transform, on click open, on click dissolve. That this is a better flow for the users. Smart Animate is one of the most powerful transition options we have in Figma. You can animate the position, size, opacity, rotation, color, and sometimes effect of elements. Remember that if you stack many properties that need transition, Figma might have a bit of a hard time. For the sake of the user experience, ensure that your transitions are as smooth as possible so that your user testing sessions go well. Today, we've explored how to transform static designs into interactive prototypes that demonstrate user flows, transition, and interactions. We've learned how to create basic navigations, use different triggers in actions, as in overlay, move to, things like this. Built-in multi-screen flow would be exactly the same, and create smooth transition using Smart Animate. Prototyping brings your design to life. It allows stakeholders to experience your vision and enable meaningful user testing before a single line of code is written. This capability and skills transform how you communicate and iterate on your design. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for the entire Figma Bootcamp. Patreon members have early access to the videos and have access to the Figma files. Link is going to be in the description. What type of interactions would you like to learn about in future videos? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next video where we'll integrate everything we'll learn into complete design. Bye.